Hey all, welcome to the first episode of Entertainment Talk. And in this section of the channel, there's going to be also a focus on movies and entertainment in the genre that we follow, superheroes usually, as well as talking about industry news or something that is worth mentioning on a channel like this. I also might do some audio podcasts where you just see a static picture and it's just rambling and me talking about something. So that's possible in the future. And the point on this video is about the future of DC's cinematic universe, and in particular, what happens if someone else buys the company. Just a little background on it is Marvel Comics, as you know, Marvel Studios, when they started, they self-funded their own company and their own movies. And eventually Disney bought Marvel. And the reason they really bought it was because of the movies and the potential to make a lot of money off of that character library. And I actually thought when they bought Marvel that it was going to be a bad deal. But it actually all worked out. You see, Disney has the financial resources, the stability to get things done. And they have pretty much left Marvel as a special section. They really didn't cross-mingle it or water it down from what it was before. If anything, they have helped ensure future movies. And at this point, I think they have already made their $4 billion plus back in the company that they bought. And the reason they bought Star Wars was the future movies and the ability to make a lot of money on the movies. Now, what does that have to do with DC Comics? Okay, DC Comics is currently owned by Time Warner, or Time Warner Communications is the right name. They are one of those mega conglomerate companies that owns cable channels, newsprint magazines, a whole bunch of properties, and they own DC Comics, which means they own the DC library of characters. And so when you think about that, Time Warner has been in financial trouble in the past, and there were investors looking to buy the company not too long ago. So the talk in this video is, and maybe I'm the first to mention it in the community here, I don't know, but the talk here is, what if these Warner Brothers movies, let's say a couple of them hit, 4, 5, 6 films hit in a row, and they're making big money and they're very profitable. Okay, with Batman v Superman, it seems the profits are there, the interest is happening. And now that they're going to follow up with at least one movie every year, things are going to get rolling finally for the company. And with success, you can bet there will be investors and other companies looking at the numbers, looking at the financials. And it wouldn't surprise me personally. I mean, I'll just say it right now, I won't be surprised if some of these other companies come looking to buy DC Comics. Primarily not for the comic books, but for the merchandising rights and the ability to make a lot of money off of future movies. It's all about the money, and the big money at that. Of course, outside of Marvel, who has a huge library character, and Disney, it's not going anywhere, outside of that, your only real chance to get profitable superheroes is DC Comics. I mean, that's it. I'm talking the big money, the name recognition, merchandise value, all of that. And so, if you want superheroes, and Time Warner, as I mentioned, has had potential financial trouble before, and they're not out of the woods yet. And then I look at companies, online companies like Yahoo, Amazon, Google, and some others, they're billion-dollar companies, okay? Not to mention Disney. And so it wouldn't surprise me, I guess is the point of the video, of another company buying Time Warner or DC Comics just to get the hero movies. And I guess this is my thoughts on it. And that is, the first thing I think is, what if Disney buys it? They bought Star Wars, they bought Marvel. I'm sure they're noticing the DC films. Why not buy that? And here's the potential. Would I, as a comic fan, be offended if they bought DC? And the answer is no, primarily if they do two things. Number one, please don't mix the DC Comics and Marvel universes together. I know they could do crossovers, but don't mix it into one world. And just like they're leaving Marvel alone, leave the DC crew alone to make their own comics. You know, don't interfere with crossing those two companies. And that, I'd be okay with that. And the second thing is, I know they have the financial and the resources to make DC comic films every year smoothly. They have the production, they have the crew, they have that stability that you need. And so I'm okay with that. And personally, I don't think I have a lot of faith in Warner Brothers now that they truly trust their DC Comics movie brand to make hero movies. You know, when Green Lantern failed, they turned tail and ran quickly away. When they had, I guess, negative fan reaction because Batman v Superman lacked a lot of fun comedy moments, they're now doing reshoots on the Squad movie to add elements of comedy that are in there. And my point of view is, why not have the faith to trust the script, what you have already, and go with it? Because the only reason they're doing these reshoots is to add comedy bits in there that had no reason to be there in the original script. You know, it's not organic. This is a reaction. And to me, that shows lack of faith in their product. And as I said, with Green Lantern, they've turned tail. And I guess I want stability. I want a feeling that they have a plan and to follow through with it and just to have the guts to stick by it. So I'm still on shaky ground, faith-wise, with DC Comics movies. Until they get a few out and keep it rolling, and I sense a strong backing behind it, then I'll definitely feel better about it. So if they got taken over by, let's say, a Disney or someone, whoever takes them over would obviously want movies made and would have the faith and the knowledge to back them up and stick with the plan. And so I guess that's another reason to buy it. And I guess the final reason, let's say in the future Disney bought DC Comics. Okay, just a what if. What would make more money than the Avengers or the Justice League? How about this? Something that no one would ever think could possibly be on the big screen. Either Spider-Man versus Superman or Spider-Man versus Batman. The icons of each company. That would sell itself. And, you know, I personally would like Spider-Man vs. Batman because it's more even on the power levels and just the contrast between the two. One is kind of lighthearted and the other is serious. The colors match up. And even though maybe the bigger money is Superman versus Spider-Man, they're kind of similar, and Superman way outclasses Spider-Man power-wise. I just think Batman would just be a better, more interesting, dynamic matchup. And hey, stranger things have happened at Justice League vs. Avengers on the big screen. How nuts would that be? And sure, Disney might not buy them, but you have to admit, those crossovers I just mentioned, those would be huge, crazy money makers in potential. And so that's my thoughts on it. Just a possibility bringing up here in this video that DC Comics, if they get their films rolling, one day in a couple of years, investors might be coming around to buy the company just for the merchandise rights and to make future films. Because we're talking about billions of dollars on the line here. And so let me know what you think on it. This entertainment talk segment. I'm going to have more future videos like this or podcasts. And subscribe if you haven't, and talk to you later.